Hello, league mates. Welcome to our 7th annual draft selection show. I am your host, Devin Ramirez. This is our 13th season competing against each other, but it still feels like we have that same passion and competitive edge that we had since year one. Our trophy's in great standing. Currently resides in New York with Beau, 2-time champion. Shout out to Beau. A lot has changed since the last time we spoke. A lot can change in a year. Specifically, Dylan is a lawyer. Shout out Dylan. Jonathan's out of the military living in DC again. Hope you're liking it. Congrats to you. Nick's in New York. Welcome to New York, Nick. And Justin's a country artist now. Shout out Justin. Hope you guys have great success in your future endeavors in this new chapter in life. There's a lot of things that we need to flatten out before this season starts. We need to reset the schedule. We need to vote on league changes and make any amendments to the Constitution that we want to. And we need to flatten out the draft details, like the location and the time. But that's not for now. Today is about the draft selection show. Before we get started and I start picking names out of this little tin right here, I want to go over some of the superlatives of last season. Beau, our champion, ended with the most wins with 11. Shout out, Beau. I had the longest win streak with 7. Jonathan had the longest losing streak with 8. And I had the biggest blowout against Dylan with 65 points. Unbelievable. Bad week for you. So, like we always do, I will be picking names out of this container. The order I pick the names will be the order you will have the selection to pick what position you want to be drafting in the order. For example, the first name that I pick from this tin will have any selection 1 through 10 to be slotted for their draft pick. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get shaken? Here it is. The first name with the first selection will be Brett. Shout out Brett. Brett last year came in second in the standings, had a bye to get to the playoffs, and had the second most points for, but lost in the semifinals and came up short, not even having a chance to secure his first championship. I hope he can stay hot in the regular season, but can figure out something out in the postseason so he can make it to the big stage and hopefully secure his first ring. Brett, you got the first pick. Shake these up. Here we go. Number 2, Jonathan. Back-to-back championship list picks going 1 and 2. The people would be happy. Jonathan made 13 roster moves last year, which was the second fewest, and had a record of 2-12, which was the worst anybody's ever finished in the regular season in the league history. I'm not going to bash him because, like I said, he just got out of the military. Thank you for your service. And I expect big things from you this year now that you are not owned, using your own words, and living back in D.C. Expecting you to lock in and hoping you can make a run this year. The people want it. So Jonathan will have the second pick of the draft slot. Number 3 is Nick, our only 3-time champion. Nick will have our third pick. Nick, in the last 2 years, has won a total of 7 fantasy football games. Nick, I won 7 fantasy football games in a row last year. So it's time for you to wake up because the last 2 years have been embarrassing, especially coming from the person that has the most titles in this league. Have some shame. Wake up. Let's go. So that is 3 selections. Here's 4. 4 will be Evan. 2-time champion, 2 stars, 2-time champion. Evan last year was 7-7, missed the playoffs, was middle of the pack in point differential, and last in points for, coming off back-to-back championships the last 2 seasons. So while Nick last 2 years have been terrible, the last 2 seasons besides this one, Evan has won back-to-back championships. So I don't know if he was in Cancun for too long last year or something, but kind of lackluster when we thought he was building a dynasty over there. He missed the playoffs and was completely mediocre. So hopefully he can swing it around and figure something out, maybe change quarterbacks or something in the offseason. So Evan will be 4. Let's see who's 5. 5 will be Devin. Devin has 1 championship, 1 star. I swear I have another one, but numbers don't lie. Devin had the most points for, second most roster moves, and had a bye. And I lost in the championship by like 50 to Beau. Never had a chance. He just came out swinging from the jump. So better man won. I kind of always am in the playoffs. You can kind of figure that out, but only 1 championship. Can't finish. And it's not only in fantasy football. Anyways, that was 5. Now we're at 6. 6 will be Justin. Starless as well. No stars. So now all championship list players are off the board. Justin last year lost in the semifinals by 3.2 points to his brother Beau. I guess better fantasy brother, because Beau's got 2 championships. Justin's 0-2 in championships and failed to reach a championship last year by just 3.2 points, and probably was going to lose anyway because that's just what history does, or what history says. So we'll see if Justin can maybe find his first one this year with a good draft slot. We got 4 more to come off the board. This one is Rocco. Rocco, that's a championship and a half. That one's got an asterisk because that was with the 8-team pre-merger era, but we still count it. It's hard to win championships in this league regardless, so we give it to him. Rocco almost won last year's championship, came in second, but this year was 5-9. It's a tough year this year. Kind of just, never really had a chance to make the playoffs. But fun fact, Brett's easiest opponent. Brett is 15-8 against Rocco. So a little beef there. Brett's not usually good. No championships, but he's got Rocco's number. So Rocco, when you got Brett in town, make sure to circle it. Watch extra film. We got 3 left. 3 left. 3 left. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We got Alex, 2-time champion and the least amount of seasons played. Always love bringing that fact in because smaller sample size, but he still gets it done. Alex last year started the year 3-7 and ended the year on a 4-game win streak. So I don't know if he changed signal callers or something in the offense, or maybe it was a defensive scheme thing, but he figured it out. And if he continues to harp on that in the offseason, I would look out. Alex might be coming forward in 2025. Look out. 2 more left. 2 more left. I'm going to pick this one, make it quick. Dylan. 1 championship for Dylan, which I think was in the Obama administration era. He hasn't won it in a while. Dylan had the most roster moves and had a negative point differential, but still made the playoffs. So sometimes it's not all about how you win. It's just winning. And he figured it out. He found a way to win, whether it was ugly or pretty. He found a way to win, and he made the playoffs. So congrats to him. Looking to add another star this season. Last but not least, I forgot who's last, but it's Beau. Wow, our champion. Squared because he is our champion. He picks last. I guess that's kind of how it works. Beau, interesting note on Beau, had the least roster moves with 8 out of anybody and won the championship. So he knows how to draft. He stuck to his guns, and he knows how to set his lineup. Beau is the most efficient fantasy football manager ever, ? Congrats to him. He almost won it in another league that no one cares about because this league is what everyone cares about. But it was a great 2024 fantasy overall for Beau. So congrats to him. I'll give him his flowers. It's a pleasure doing this every year, guys. We will talk in the group chat on the other details, but hope you guys get the mock drafts going, and I'll see you guys for the draft in about a month. Cheers.